This guy back here is my Privut hedge, and it's a privacy hedge between me and my neighbor. Privut, it's Privut, not private, but it's private hedge, privacy hedge. Privut, private, whatever. This hedge is pretty old. It's been here since I moved here. It's got a lot of dead branches in the middle. These dead branches are due to the fact that when I trim the top of the hedge, a lot of the leaves and debris falls down into the middle of the hedge, and then small mammals, rats, raccoons, they take that and create somewhat of a highway through the middle of this hedge. This hedge is really tall. I'd say it's probably 15 feet tall. And I try to keep it cut down to between 12 and 15 feet, and that's where all the debris falls down into the middle of the hedge. Now, a lot of people would see this hedge and they would think to themselves, oh, this hedge is dying, it needs to be replaced, there's an issue. But the issue is actually simple. It's that there's just not enough light getting into the middle of the hedge. You could be watering it and turn up your watering days and still see no change, and that's usually because these hedges get so dense that you need to cut them back on the inside. I use a combination of tools. I have this little kind of arm extension that I made with this is a grass cutting blade and a piece of PVC, and this allows me to reach in there and yank out the dead material. And it also kind of cuts as it goes, and it grabs. You can also just use your hand, and you can get quite a bit of stuff out. But tools like this help. If there's a branch that's in there and I know I need to cut, I'll just use my little hand shears here, and I'll just, trim off a piece, whatever, yank it out. But, you can use whatever works for you. The object is to thin it out, and you're thinning it out so you can let some light in. Between the light and the water getting in there, this thing will come back to life, and it may look a little sparse for a while, but it will fill in and look. You'll have new growth on the end of what are seemingly dead branches, but it's new growth, and it will look nice and beautiful for time to come. So have at it and watch your hedge come back to life. If you have agapanthus that has gone to seed like this flower has, you have a couple of options to consider. When it comes to this brilliant flower, they do seem to thrive the best when the roots are compact. So putting them in a terracotta pot or a smaller planter can sometimes give you a better flower, and the plant themselves will just thrive better. For some, this may be a wanted result, the thriving of the flower, but for others, there is some disdain for this plant, as some people sadly label it a weed. To me, the flower reminds me of a fireworks explosion above a large canopy of lush forest below, and I like to keep this bloom going throughout the season. Because I'm located in Southern California, you can almost maintain these flowers indefinitely with a little bit of work. Now, this particular flower, or all these flowers, have already gone to seed, so what you need to do is cut the flower or the stalk back to roughly 10 inches above the soil, or for me, I like to just use the gnarly sign as my measurement tool. And once you cut it back, you will get another growth off that stalk, and you'll continue to get flowers throughout the season. It may take a while for it to grow back, but it will grow back, and these will flower again. Some people like to maintain these stalks with the seed packets as vertical interest in their garden throughout the season. As for me, I'd rather cut the stalks off and try to get new, fresh flowers to grow and bloom, and just continue that cycle throughout the entire season of these flowers. The agapanthus is a great and beautiful flower to add to any garden, and it adds this wonderful explosion of fireworks above your garden. So definitely check these out and try them out in your garden.